and we are the Ninja Legion. I am P-Chan,
I'm Spider.
and we are going to talk about comic books, because right now I completely forgot the name of...
I don't think we gave this segment a title yet, but we're going to work on that.
We're going to work on that.
Yeah.
We'll come up with something. Generally right now, I have this massive bone to pick with Marvel, where everything right now has become an epic.
Yeah.
Like, whatever happened to, like, really good storytelling? Like, that one really good arc, or good story arcs. Now everything is a earth-shattering, series-shattering, crossing every... You're trying to make me buy 12 different comic books at the beginning of every month to follow this storyline, even if they only mention something about the story.
Yeah, that's true. And the problem is, like, you have to look and dig for those. You have to find writers that you like and follow their work, and not just look for, Marvel, for example, right now, Original Sin.
The Original Sin.
And, like, the concept, like, people say it's been great so far, reading just, like, the regular stuff, but all the tie-in books and everything, and that's been the thing. Like, if you give me a story arc and you keep it contained within that series of books, like Original Sin's 8 issues, they're like, oh yeah, and Original Sin, issue 0 through issue 8, cool, I'd read that. I'm not picking up one book from each other Marvel title just to keep up with the story.
And that's what they
make you do it. Because you'll pick up, you'll get one month and then 2 the next month, and you'll have no idea what's going on between the two of them, even though they should just pick up from each other, but they don't.
They don't.
Yeah.
But they're trying to drive up their sales, and it infuriates me, because when was the last time you read in mainstream comics, and I'll say mainstream as in Marvel or DC, and they gave you a really good story arc that wasn't an epic? It's been a while.
It's been a couple of years, I guess, but there've been some pretty solid story arcs in general. But I also have a particular writer that I follow, Rick Remender, and he has a few of his own separate titles that he's doing. But then he does a couple of things for Marvel. Like, he was put in charge of, like, all of Marvel's covert ops books.
Right.
So, like
Secret
Avengers, X-Force. Even the last Venom series, when that started, he was originally writing it, and then he handed it over because I guess he was just doing too much stuff. But those stories I all really enjoyed, and he's currently doing Captain America, which I've heard has been fantastic, but I haven't been able to go back and keep up with it.
The backlog.
Yeah, I've been reading his 2 other ongoing series that he has right now, Deadly Class and Black Science, and those have been pretty awesome so far. I mean, Deadly Class is up to, like, issue 5 or 6 right now. It takes place in, like, the 80s. It's about, like, a League of Assassins kind of thing. Oh. It's been pretty neat.
I've been Matt Fraction's Hawkeye.
Yeah, I've heard that's really good. I read the first issue. It was pretty solid.
It's a phenomenal read with a nice retro, like, 70s art style to it, too. Anything Straczynski touches, I'll read. Yeah. Generally, if Romita draw something, except for his Superman, I can't get over that.
Because it's Superman. Has it come out yet? Has the Romita Jeff Johns Superman? I don't believe it's coming out, because they're doing, like, some big Doomsday event right now, and I think post that's when they're going to start it. I'll give it a chance. I don't like Superman, but
I love me Romita Jr.
Romita and Jeff Johns together seems like a powerhouse.
Correct.
Could actually make me care about Superman for once.
I'd love to see Romita do Batman. I don't know.
That could be cool.
I don't know, especially he's got that really, like, Frank Miller-esque, like, in the Dark Knight Strikes, like, art feel to it, that really dark noir, blocky, Batman's a boxer type of physique to him, and I'd love to see that. Yeah. But I'm really, at this point, like I always say, I've gotten more into indie comic books just because Marvel and DC at this point are doing with the game industry. They're oversaturating the market, and they're not doing quality. There's quantity. Hopefully, if we blow their minds with so much stuff they can't take a moment to really look at it, they'll buy it.
Yeah, there's a lot of that, and I've been doing a lot of the same. Like I said, I've been reading Rick Remender stuff that he's put out through Image Comics, because that's, creator controlled.
Image and Dark Horse, love.
Yeah, they're just like, all right, we're going to let you guys do what you want because we trust you. So, Deadly Class, Black Science, Saga just came back for their 3rd story arc. or fourth story arc. I'm sorry. So yeah, those have been my 3 like offshoot ones, and the stuff that I've been reading Spider-Man because I'm a diehard Spider-Man fan, as everybody who's listened to the show before can tell, or can just look at the cup on my table in front of me. But right now, that's only 2 issues deep, and it's Humberto Ramos's art, and I really like his art style for Spider-Man. It's kind of cartoony, and it fits the character really well.
Especially love his Venom.
Yeah,
his Venom's fantastic.
His Venom's pretty awesome. So that keeps me there. It wasn't enough to keep me on Superior Spider-Man though. Sure. But the other stuff I've been reading is kind of like offshoot stuff. Like they just started a new Iron Fist series, and it's written and drawn by the same person.
Oh, nice. Because I got all the Book of Iron Fist, and that was a really good story arc.
Kare Andrews. It's Kaare Andrews. Writing and Carrie. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I feel
Welcome
bad
to
about
America,
that.
where names aren't names.
I'll look it up. But yeah, it's written and drawn by the same person, and it's an interesting story right now. Like he's living his life, doing his thing, and a messenger from Kunlun comes to get him, and it's like, we need you to come back. Mm-hmm. So it just like kind of left off with this assassin coming to kill him, and now he's going back to Kunlun.
And this is a new story arc?
This is a new story arc. It's like 3 issues deep right now.
Oh, okay. Because the one I just read a couple years ago was the Book of Iron Fist. It tells about the lineage of all the Iron Fists that came before him.
Yeah.
And why they always die when they're 33. I think it was 30. Yeah, I think it's 33. They die and another one takes their place, except for one who got away. And it's him going back to Kunlun and battling all the other great houses, all these other martial art masters and assassins, like the Lady of Spiders, and it's rather impressive.
Yeah,
it's really odd, but it's pretty good.
I think they preface they show like the great dragon dying, and that's sort of a relevant thing there. Yeah. But there's like a lot of political turmoil and stuff going on in Kunlun. But yeah, I've been reading that. Again, it's only a few issues deep. The newest one just came out last week. And they have a standalone Magneto series.
Yes.
Where it's Magneto going back to being Magneto, not just like
with the white and black, or the almost X-Force.
It's black. Yeah, it looks like the X-Force. It's the inverse of the costume that he's had in the Uncanny X-Men books that have been out. Where instead of just being like, I'm gonna stand here and advise Cyclops on what he should do. Exactly. Because he's a villain now, basically.
Going back and murdering people.
Him going around basically finding people that torture or kill mutants and
doing them in glorious Magneto fashion. The first book, it's like one of the first couple of pages or like panels where there's it's a eyewitness account of something that happened. It's Magneto and this guy sitting in a diner having a conversation, and it goes on. He's like, and then all of a sudden he just removed his fillings. And then like a couple minutes later, it's like, and then he replaced them, and it's the guy's on his knees with his head cocked back, and a bunch of like street signs just jammed through his mouth and out the back of his head. And so Magneto's just brutally killing these people. I mean, and they're people that deserve it. They're torturing and killing mutants, but that's what I've always liked about Magneto. He's all for the short game. I've always felt like Xavier was a long game. He's like, yeah, you can murder all the bad people you want now, but it'll come back to bite you later. And Magneto never has that type of hindsight. He's going to do all this, and it's going to hit him in the face later.
Yeah, so like he's just been lone wolfing it the whole time thus far. This last issue, he has like somebody who wants to help him. Like, I know what you're doing, and I know why, but add on to it. Not
right.
Too well, the story hasn't gotten that in depth yet because it's only like 4 or 5 issues into.
Oh, just wait for I'm waiting for the big hammer to fall. Like, where is this all leading to?
Yeah, there's gonna be some kind of big thing, and I feel like it's coming soon. Just the way like things have let up, because it's amazing that like no other mutants have tried to do anything yet, and like it's Magneto, and the whole. I think it's the whole since like the Phoenix Force thing and like M-Day, where some of the mutants' powers are broken and don't work quite right, and he's not full strength.
People are kind of in the Marvel universe, especially with mutants. People are kind of tiptoeing around that right now. Even other mutants are tiptoeing around that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff.
What the original 5 X-Men still rolling around in the Marvel Universe, if my memory serves me right.
They're all still rolling around the original universe. Cyclops was given his own spin-off series because the after the trial of Jean Grey, he meets his father.
Mm-hmm.
Corsair, yeah, because the Starjammers show up to help the Guardians of the Galaxy, and he's just like, well, I love all you guys, but I'm gonna go be with my dad now.
Yeah, bye.
So yeah, there's a Cyclops standalone series where it's just past Cyclops going around with Corsair doing stuff. I won't read it because I hate Cyclops. Yeah. I hate Scott Summers.
Well, that's why they had to make him a villain, because he's never been an interesting character.
No, I mean, maybe the kid they'll do a better job with, but I have enough loathing for Cyclops from years of reading comics.
You know the worst part about it? Cable's no better.
Generally not. No, he's pretty detestable.
Oh, yeah. And every time, I used to love Cable in the 90s.
Yeah.
And as of late, they have just butchered him. They've done nothing exciting or interesting with him other than
they just killed him.
Did they? Finally.
Maybe. They blew him. The last X-Force issue that I read, he exploded at the end. And I don't know if they showed that he got rescued last minute or because they have a teleporter as part of the team.
I feel like that's some way they're going to try to segue Nate Gray back into the fold, and that would just break my mind again.
Yeah. So there's and that's been back and forth too because I've loved X-Force.
Well, yeah.
It's been one of the few series I kept up. And the last two when they split the series weren't very good. And then they're like, "All right, well we're going to go back. We're going to have one X-Force series." The art that they showed was really good, and then they changed artists 3 or 4 issues in. Because Marvel has a really bad habit of doing that.
Yeah.
They'll keep bad creative teams on a book forever, but when they have a good creative team, they can only do a few issues.
They want to pull you in and get you buying it on a regular basis, and then they can leave. Okay, we got them hooked.
We give up.
Well, I actually wanted to bounce this up. Well, before I jump to that topic, the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
Which is I'm really excited about. It's coming out, they said, November.
Yeah, the end of the year.
It's basically different universes or realities version of Spider-Man.
Yeah, and all of the Spider-Men from all of the universes are going to come together for this big Spider-Man event.
Which is not going to be good, but I look forward to it.
It's going to look terrible. It's going to be terrible.
But the one that excites me the most is they have one where Gwen Stacy's bitten by a radioactive spider instead of Peter Parker.
They just announced they're doing a 5-issue miniseries to precede the Spider-Verse event called Tales from the Spider-Verse. And each one of those 5 books is going to be detailing a Spider-Man from a different parallel universe. Yep. And that's one of them.
That one, I think that was the only one I really paid attention to.
The art, yeah, they showed the picture for that one of Gwen Stacy in this white and red spider suit. And it looked awesome.
With a hood.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
And then they show her with the Spider-Man mask underneath of it. And I was like, all right, that's pretty cool.
I'll buy that for $1.
Yeah, apparently the guy who did Spider-Man Noir is coming back. They're going to do a Spider-Man Noir book involved with that, which is kind of cool.
They're talking about one where the spider bite turns somebody else into a monster. Or Peter into a monster. I assume they're going to do
the man spider type thing. The one that I dread and ridicule me one is they're letting Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance, who wrote Umbrella Academy, do the 5th book for this.
Which they didn't really get, and the funny part is they didn't give any description of it.
No.
Other than Gerard Way is doing it. And I'm like...
I feel like that's just we'll get all the fangirls to buy this one, and everyone else will be pissed. And the best part is Blue Bomber, she's a My Chemical Romance and a Gerard Way fan. She read Umbrella Academy, and I know you said you've read a few pages of it too, and she's like, it's awful. The writing is just terrible.
It did nothing for me.
And so it's just I get that there's some celebrity and there's some star power in that, but it's not like My Chemical Romance is a relevant band nowadays.
Not I know they put out, at least 2 albums that I couldn't tell you the name of. After Black Parade, it's just...
Yeah, it was pretty much they had 2 or 3 albums where they were really popular, and they've just gone off into obscurity.
You wore a tank top and skinny jeans, and I'm like, and I'll pass.
Yeah, busy raising families and such. Doing adult stuff.
Well, people always, when I have this argument with people and they tell me they're either a big Marvel person or a big DC person, I always tell them I can go to the Marvel Universe of DC, whatever one you don't like, and find the same exact
problems.
Book. No, the same exact character, just told differently.
Yeah.
I mean, you got your Batman and you have your Daredevil. You know, it's your Suicide Squad and the Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Which are basically the same thing.
They are the parallel.
Correct.
To it.
My big gripe right now is, especially with media, that they just revamped the Suicide Squad for the New 52. And Amanda Waller has always been like this middle-aged, rotund black woman who thoroughly... She's a ball breaker.
Oh, absolutely.
She put Batman in his place.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't go near her. But they revamped the Suicide Squad for the New 52, and now she's like 30, skinny, like supermodel black chick. And kind of defeated the entire point of Amanda Waller.
Yeah, she wasn't supposed to be like this badass action star kind of character.
Yeah, now she's got a jetpack, and I'm like,
she was just a woman who ran Argus, who sat behind a desk and just told everybody what to do and put you in your place if you got out of line.
Yeah, she was intimidating, and she was a strong female character.
Yeah, that didn't have to be a sex symbol.
Exactly, and I wondered why the hell would they go ahead and change her? It was perfect.
I don't know if I don't know if this had anything to do with it, but in Arrow she's the same way. She's just skinny, probably like 30, maybe mid-30s at most.
Yeah.
Attractive woman who is still a ball breaker. They didn't change her personality too much, but why the need to reskin her as somebody, know?
And I feel like, especially in this day and age, when you have like female leads like that, not everybody's going to be a supermodel.
No, everybody relevant is.
Exactly. No, not everybody in comic books needs to be a supermodel. That sends the wrong
impression to
readers, especially now that we're actually getting more and more female readers and female writers.
Yeah, and like attention just in general, because nerd culture is in such a huge resurgence with all the movies and TV shows. And
they're like, oh, this is new. No, we've been doing this forever.
It's to the point now where Amanda Waller has her own book right now, and it's like Amanda Waller, Agent of Argus. And I'm just like, really? Do we need to give Amanda Waller her own little story?
Back in the day, I don't think I ever saw Amanda Waller with a weapon.
Yeah.
She didn't need one.
She never went out in the field.
No.
She just sat behind a desk and was like, you get out of line, I'll blow you up.
Exactly. You step out of line, you die.
I mean,
it was a great premise.
Yeah, I mean, and they're getting ready to like redo it again in the New 52. They're doing like a new team.
It's got Deathstroke, the Terminator, Harley Quinn,
Joker's daughter.
I think everybody
Deadshot
died.
Deadshot is always in.
He's always
Suicide
in it.
Squad.
Yeah.
Have like the one staple member.
Yep.
Harley, they just feel the need to put her.
She's popular, so throw her in there.
Yeah.
Well, that's what. They always do the same thing. If Harley Quinn's popular, you got to give her her own standalone. She's got to be in every Bat book and have her own miniseries.
The good thing is she's not in all the Bat books that I'm aware of.
Anymore.
She has her own standalone, and it's very campy and just kind of like a fun little like Harley Quinn romp thing, which is actually sort of an enjoyable read because it's not to be taken seriously at all. They're doing it the right way for that kind of character.
Well, the comic books have always been bad about oversaturation. Think about Venom in the 90s or Magneto in the 90s. Wolverine's been that way.
Spider-Man sometimes. Deadpool right now is the worst
ridiculous.
Violator. Every other month there's a new Deadpool miniseries launching, and he's got like 3 or 4 like
when he would come and go, Deadpool was interesting. He was good for a laugh if he just popped up to antagonize, say, Cable or anybody in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
But when you do, I call it the Wolverine treatment, you throw him in everything to the point where they're saying, I remember reading Day of the Atom, and Wolverine goes, Cyclops, I'm flattered you went, but I can't be on all the teams. Where he redid the whole X-Men. He goes, I'm flattered, but I can't be on all the teams. I can't be everyone once. Like, you shouldn't be able to make that joke.
The fact that they're like, yeah, we know.
Yeah,
but Deadpool's one of the biggest violators right now with that, and I agree with the whole background character thing.
Deathstroke, the Terminator.
Deathstroke's in a lot right now, and I don't know if that's because of Arrow as well.
Right.
Because that was the major part of the last season of Arrow.
If you can give me a really good standalone, you don't have to Marvel is missing. DC does it every now and then. They get like a B or a C-list hero, and they redo his entire story.
Yeah.
Marvel never does that.
DC's doing that with like all of their big heroes right now.
Yeah.
They're doing like the year 1 stuff or like flashback things.
But Marvel never does that. You have Daredevil that's just in the wind right now. Silver Surfer you haven't heard of.
Silver Surfer has his own standalone series right now.
Well, now, but how long had it been before that?
We'll probably see a new Daredevil soon with the new TV show coming.
A new Ghost Rider's coming, which makes
the new Ghost Riders. There's a movie or the new comic series is already going.
It's already going right now.
And that's the one that you said you didn't like because it was too anime style and he drives a car. It hasn't been terrible so far.
Really?
I've actually been picking them up. It's interesting how they're telling the story. I mean, the anime style takes a little bit of getting used to, but if you're an anime fan, it really shouldn't bother you that much.
I'm okay with the art style. I want a story, though.
As a comic book. But, like, just because it's anime. But, so yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming up. I guess a quick note, because we got to wrap things up here. There was a new Big Trouble in Little China comic that was released last week. I have not had a chance to read it, but it's been getting a lot of attention.
That was actually one of my favorite movies as a kid.
Yeah,
Kurt Russell's the man.
Yeah, and they kept that true. It looks like Kurt Russell on the cover, so
I can't wait to see that.
Good there, but I mean, we could go on forever about all the comic book stuff. We
probably will eventually,
and we'll touch base back on some more of that stuff as we see some things coming out.
Yeah, I have a big thing about Ghost Rider next time we do this.
Yeah, I'll get you the issues so you can read them over and see what you think.
Cool.
But
we are the Ninja Legion. I am P-Chan.
I'm Spider.
Have a good night. Thanks for joining us.